Caribbean travel and soft sand between your toes, or the taste of smooth rum and getting lost in island beauty? If so, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Caribbean Castaways Podcast. You are about to embark on a journey where you will learn about everything the Caribbean has to offer, from the best beaches and places to stay to the best restaurants and things to do. Everything you need to know to get the most out of your vacation and become a salty Caribbean castaway. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hosts, Caribbean travel bloggers, Rum Shop Ryan and Castaway Crystal.
What is up? How's it going, castaways? Your host, Rum Shop Ryan here, and along with my co-host, who is actually sitting over on the couch right now, waving hi to everybody. We are Caribbean travel bloggers, and our job is to help you have a better Caribbean vacation and save a little money in the process. So today, we're going to be talking all about the amazing beaches of Sanibel Island. So Sanibel Island, if you don't know, is located in beautiful Southwest Florida, where we are lucky enough to call home. And Sanibel is, believe it or not, just about 5 or 6 minutes down the road. So we actually hit up Sanibel quite often for lunch, for dinner, or just an amazing beach day. So if you don't know anything about Sanibel, it is located just off the shores of Fort Myers, Florida. The only way to get there by road is going down Old McGregor Boulevard. Just take that all the way to the end and you'll see the Sanibel toll booth. I believe that is $6 to go onto the island. You'll head over the bridge, and the first place you'll end up are the Sanibel Causeway Islands. So I'm going to go ahead and include the Sanibel Causeway Islands as one of the best beaches on Sanibel. So technically they're not on Sanibel, but they're right next to it, and the only way to get there is on the Sanibel Causeway bridges. There are 2 islands you'll cross over, and they are unique because they are one of the only places in Southwest Florida where you can actually drive up onto the beach. Now, let me say this they're really not great beach locations. They're a little rocky, a little shelly, but they're the only place where you can actually drive your car right up to the shore. And doing that allows you to listen to your own music out of your car. You don't have to carry your beach chairs and coolers down lots of sidewalks and paths. So it's super, super convenient. And it's just a great spot to hang out with a lot of like-minded people. We actually hung out on the second Sanibel Island, Causeway Island last weekend with a whole bunch of Jeepers. So that was a lot of fun. We all parked next to each other, talked about Jeeps, watched pelicans fly by. It was a really, really good day. So definitely check out the Sanibel Causeway Islands as one of the best spots to do a beach day on Sanibel Island. The second spot is probably the most famous beach on Sanibel, and that is Lighthouse Beach. So even when you're on, let's say, Fort Myers Beach or the Sanibel Causeway Islands, you can see the Sanibel Lighthouse. It's right at the tip of the island. It just kind of stands out there. It still works, so the light goes around at night. You can see it from everywhere. And it's probably the largest beach park there on Sanibel. So there are 2 main parking lots. And now listen up, this is important because the parking lots fill up a lot. So as you get onto Sanibel, you'll come up to the 4-way stop and take a left on Periwinkle Way. So you'll take Periwinkle Way all the way down to the island, and you'll see signs for Lighthouse Beach and all that stuff. But right when you get up to the park, you'll see parking on your right, and that's metered parking to where you'll go and put a sticker on your dash, and that fills up really fast. That's like the main lot. There's a couple other lots on the north side of the park. So right when you get to the park, you'll see a road that goes off to the left. If you take that road, it kind of wraps down around, and there's 2 smaller lots there. And a lot of times the fishermen will use those lots. So if you just kind of hang out in a lot, so they do get full, but if you hang out there in your car, honestly, you can probably be there for like 10 minutes and somebody will come. So it's not the worst place in the world. The other lot on the south side, the main lot, when that fills up, people are usually there all day. So it's really hard to get a spot. But these other two spots, when you get there, you take that left and they're on the north side, and it's a great, great spot. So just hang out there until a spot opens up. They always do. So because Sanibel Lighthouse Beach wraps around the tip of Sanibel, you'll have two sides to explore. And it's pretty cool. They're both very, very different. You'll have the bay side, which looks back at the Sanibel Causeway Islands and Pine Island Sound. But then you can actually walk around the beach and go to the Gulf side. The Gulf side is absolutely beautiful. The water gets a little bit better on that side because it's facing the Gulf of Mexico instead of the Caloosahatchee River. And during some times of the year, you can actually see the division of the two bodies of water. It's usually not the prettiest of things because the river water is kind of brown and murky. And then the Gulf of Mexico is usually nice and clear, blue and green. So if you want that better water quality, that prettier water, go to the south side of the beach and you'll see that Gulf of Mexico water. It's really, really beautiful. Another cool thing about Lighthouse Beach Park is that there's lots of walking trails around the area. They're not super long, but there's some really beautiful boardwalks that kind of tuck in and out of the mangroves. There's definitely a lot of shade in the area, so you can kind of tuck up your beach chairs and beach towels up underneath some sea grapes and mangroves. There's also facilities for restrooms and showers and stuff like that there. So Sanibel Lighthouse Beach really has everything you need for a great, great day. And another fun fact, Crystal usually does the fun facts, but Sanibel Island is world famous for shelling. The beaches here are littered with beautiful seashells, and you see all of these people walking around with little bags, and it's called the Sanibel Stoop. So everybody kind of hunches over and picks up shells all day long. It's pretty comical to watch, but it's cool because you can take the shells home and decorate your house with them. But just remember, don't collect any live shells. So there's a lot of sand dollars in the area. There's a lot of what's called the queen conch or fighting conchs in the waters. So just make sure that there is nobody home in the shell that you're picking up. I know that Castaway Crystal is a huge advocate for animals of all shapes and sizes. And she actually had a massage on Sanibel, I think last week or the week before. And the person that she was working on actually went shelling that day. And there were some conch shells in a bucket, and she heard one moving around because the person did not look inside the shell to see if anybody was home. So the poor thing probably died, and it just destroyed Crystal for about a day. But definitely make sure that the shells that you're collecting are dead. But yeah, Sanibel is one of the best places in the world to collect shells. The next top beach on Sanibel is Bailey's Beach Park. So on our beach tour today, we're going to work our way from the south and go all the way north. And the main road we're going to be on is called Periwinkle Way. To get to Bailey's Beach Park, you're going to take a right at that four-way stop on Periwinkle Way. That's the main four-way stop right when you get onto the island. You can't miss it. And Bailey's Beach Park is your very first right after you take a right. That road is called Bailey Road, and you're going to take that all the way down to the end, and there you will run into Bailey's Beach Park. Now, we actually haven't been to this beach, but you see it every single time you drive onto Sanibel. It's a small sliver of beach just to the right of the bridge as you get onto Sanibel. And this beach is going to be a lot less crowded. There's not that many parking places there. So if you're looking to kind of get away and get some seclusion, Bailey's Beach Park is definitely a great spot to check out. I think it's a bit of a secret beach. I think most people head down to the Lighthouse Beach or Bowman's Beach, which we'll talk about a little later. And they skip Bailey's Beach Park. And now that we're talking about it, and I mentioned that Crystal and I have never been there, I want to go there now. I love the quiet beaches. I love to just sit there and chill and watch the pelicans, dive bomb their food. And it's just one of those, great, great spots. It does face to the riverside, so the water's not going to be the greatest, but it's still going to be really, really beautiful. And you'll probably see more dolphins on that side. The dolphins tend to hang out by the bridges. They tend to hang out up there in Pine Island Sound a little bit more. So definitely a great spot to go see some dolphins. And the next beach on our Sanibel Beach tour is Gulfside City Beach Park. This is on the Gulf side, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. You're going to love this beach. So one thing to mention here that Sanibel is actually one long beach. So it's a barrier island, and the beautiful soft white sand stretches all the way from the lighthouse all the way north to Captiva Island. But the majority of the island is, developed with homes and small little resorts going up and down the beach. So beach access is actually a little limited and hard to come by. So that's why we're doing this podcast. We really want to help you guys get to these Sanibel beaches. So most of the beaches are located in these small parks. And Gulfside Beach Park is a great one. You're going to love it. So to get there, we will continue our way down Periwinkle Way, and we'll take a left on Casa y Bell Road. That road is going to wrap around to your left, then it's going to wrap around to your right. Then you'll see a small road called Algiers Lane. That's where the park is located, so just take Algiers Lane all the way to Gulfside City Beach Park. It's an absolutely beautiful spot. You'll park in a very wooded area on a gravel parking lot, and then there's a couple trails that will lead you through the sea oats and across the dunes and then onto the beautiful white sand beach. One thing to know is it is a very open area, so you're definitely going to need some shade. Bring a umbrella or one of those tents because it's going to get hot, and there are no sea grapes or mangroves or anything like that to where you can kind of take shelter from the sun. But if you have that shade and a cooler full of ice cold Corona or whatever your favorite drink is, you're going to have a great, great beach day. So definitely check out Gulfside City Beach Park on Sanibel Island. Our next beach is called Tarpon Bay Beach. To get there, we're actually going to leave Gulfside City Beach Park and jump back on Casa y Bell Road. So, interesting little fact, little side note, another fun fact, I guess you could say, is that a lot of roads in Florida switch names for like no reason whatsoever. So one road will have like one name in one area and a completely different name in another area. This is the case with Casa y Bell Road. So after we leave Algiers Lane from Gulf City Beach Park, it's called Casa y Bell. We're going to take a left there, and right after you do that, the road changes names to West Gulf Drive. I don't know why it does that. It's super, super confusing. I know when I moved down from Kansas, like the main road in town, 41, had like 3 different names. I was like, what are you guys talking about? 41, Cleveland Avenue? I have no idea. So Casa y Bell Road changes to West Gulf Drive, and just a short way down that road, you'll run into Tarpon Bay Road, and right there on the left, you'll see a small parking area for Tarpon Bay Beach. It only has room for a few cars, but you'll walk down a very beautiful sidewalk with like colorful cobblestones and stuff like that, and it will pop you out right on a beautiful beach called Tarpon Bay Beach. There's not much there. There's no facilities, but it's a great spot to spend a beach day. Another one of those little hidden gems there on Sanibel. Our next Sanibel beach is probably the second most popular beach, and that's called Bowman's Beach. So to get there from our last beach, Tarpon Bay Beach, we are going to travel up Tarpon Bay Road, and that is going to connect with Sanibel Captiva Road. So Periwinkle Way is like the main road on the south end of the island, and that kind of changes names into Sanibel Captiva Road. So once we get there, we're going to take a left and continue to travel north along that road up Sanibel Island towards Captiva. Then after a few miles on Sanibel Captiva Road, you'll see a few signs for Bowman's Beach. You'll take a left on Bowman's Beach Road. You'll travel all the way down, and you'll see a pretty good sized parking lot. That is another pay lot where you pay money into a machine, it spits out a ticket, and you put that on your dash. Then you'll follow a sidewalk down. You'll hit some trails. It'll go over some intercoastal waterways, some kind of swamp area, which is really, really beautiful. There's usually lots of fish you can see in the water and lots of shorebirds there killing those fish, I guess you could say, hunting those fish. But you'll walk across the dunes, and there you'll be on beautiful Bowman's Beach. Again, like Tarpon Bay Beach and the other ones, this one's pretty wide open. There's not much shade right there on the beach, so definitely bring an umbrella and a tent. This one does have restrooms in the parking lot. They're not on the beach, and it's a decent walk to get back to the parking lot. So just make sure you take care of business there by your car. Not next to your car, in the bathrooms, in the parking lot. I hope that wasn't weird. But anyways, that's Bowman's Beach, and it's really, really beautiful. Our final beach is called Blind Pass Beach. So to get there, we're going to jump back on Sanibel Captiva Road, travel all the way north. And this is the beach right before you get to Captiva Island. So there's actually a separation between Sanibel and Captiva. Back when I first moved here, Blind Pass was actually filled in with sand, and the two islands were connected. Since then, it's been dredged out, and it's a very beautiful channel. It's created two beaches. On the south side is Blind Pass Beach on Sanibel, and on the north side is Turner Beach, which Crystal absolutely loves because that is her maiden name. Blind Pass Beach is a really, really pretty spot because it offers, I would say, a couple different ecosystems. On the Gulf side, it's wide open, very wide white sand beach, but you can actually walk underneath the bridge onto the kind of the Gulf side, and it's where a lot of fishermen hang out. There's some mangroves back in there. You'll see a lot of people kayaking. It's a very, very beautiful, tranquil spot. And a lot of people don't really post up there because it's kind of on the inland side, and there's not the Gulf of Mexico to look at, but there's a lot of other beautiful things in there, lots of birds and fish and kayaking. So it's a great spot to do things just like that. But that is the final beach on our list, and that was Blind Pass Beach. So if you guys, are still kind of waiting out to travel to the Caribbean, due to the pandemic and